Meghan Markle's recent trip to Nigeria is a glaring example of her constant need to insert herself into narratives where she does not belong, using Nigerian children as mere props in her relentless quest for attention. Her return, quote unquote, home to Nigeria, a country she has never lived in or visited before, is nothing short of a farce. Despite having no known living relatives there, Meghan audaciously thanked Nigerians for welcoming me home. This begs the question, what exactly is she trying to achieve with this spectacle?
Welcome to TFI Global, the antidote to mass delusion.
Years ago, Meghan took a genealogy test that revealed she is 43% Nigerian. For most, this would be an amusing tidbit to share at a dinner party. However, Meghan has transformed this trivial fact into a cornerstone of her public persona. According to Scientific American, our ancestry is a complex web that, if traced back far enough, connects us all. Yet Meghan's use of this information feels more like an opportunistic grab for a connection she can exploit, rather than a genuine exploration of her roots. It is clear that Meghan and Harry's trip to Nigeria was more about basking in unearned adoration than any meaningful engagement with the country. They were treated to red carpets, lavish receptions, and cheering crowds, a stark contrast to the tepid reception they often receive in the UK. In Nigeria, Meghan was even honored with royal titles, feeding into her insatiable desire to be seen as a princess. This, however, is just a smokescreen for her deeper ambition to be perceived as a victim. During a visit, Meghan pontificated about the African American experience and the impact of the Atlantic slave trade, conveniently sidestepping her immense privilege. By drawing parallels between herself and the victims of historical atrocities, she not only diminishes their suffering but also obscures her own fortunate circumstances. Meghan's parents went to great lengths to ensure she could achieve her dreams, a privilege she now downplays in favor of a victim narrative that serves her current agenda. The Nigerian tour is a cringe-worthy reminder of the Sussexes' propensity for performative activism. Harry's reference to the Nigerian people as his in-laws is a testament to their lack of genuine connection to the culture they claim to embrace. This episode underscores a troubling trend. Identity is now something to be manufactured in a lab and exploited for personal gain, rather than cultivated through genuine experiences and relationships. Meghan's concept of family and identity is whatever suits her need at the moment, reducing rich cultural and historical ties to mere talking points. Ultimately, Meghan's appropriation of Nigerian heritage is not about honoring her roots but about creating a narrative that serves her ambition. She wants the prestige of being a princess while simultaneously claiming the mantle of victimhood. By calling Nigeria her country, Meghan attempts to weave a story that fits her agenda, ignoring the reality of Nigeria and its people. She is not interested in truly understanding or contributing to the country. She merely wants to use its history and people as backdrops for her own self-aggrandizing performance. This is not just disrespectful, it is another form of exploitation, a modern-day twist on age-old forms of racism. If anyone is the victim here, it's the Nigerians. Harry and Meghan's trip included announcing that their Archwell Foundation would help fund school supplies and menstrual products in Nigeria. However, considering Archwell was recently labeled delinquent by the US charity regulator, can we trust the Nigerians will benefit? Worse still, Meghan and Harry inflicted their mental health crusade and American-style therapy speak upon Nigeria. Addressing a captive audience of school children, Harry asked, "If you see your friend in your class not smiling, what are you going to do? Are you going to check in with them? Are you going to ask them if they're okay? It's okay not to be okay." Meghan, clearly impressed, swooned. "Do you see why I married him? He's so smart." If Harry had as many brain cells as Meghan imagines, he would know that this kind of talk does far more harm than good. Constantly asking children about their emotional states creates the very problems mental health advocates claim to want to prevent. As Abigail Shrier points out in her book Bad Therapy, getting children to play shrink and routinely ask each other how they are feeling pushes them to focus their attention inwards rather than out into the world. It is already making young people sicker, sadder, and more afraid to grow up, she writes. The last thing Nigeria needs is a victim princess and her clueless husband introducing the nation's children to cod psychology. Nigeria's leaders need to shut the door on Meghan, Harry, and all that they represent.